Hey guys, I came across an interesting video on TikTok where a guy applied to more than 1600 jobs in the US and ended up with something below par after a lot of struggle. There is a lot of frustration in his video and I'm going to review and share my thoughts on this. Some of the issues he raised in that video are true and I agree with some, but there are a few things that could be resolved on his side. Let's look at the video clipping and I'm going to share my opinion as we go.
So if you live in the United States right now, you understand that we're going through a job market disaster, a crisis, but I'm about to expose everyone. So starting with if you're a hiring manager or you're in hiring practices, and secondly, I'm exposing companies and the games that they're playing from personal experience. So this will be one of my only videos today because so far I'm 1,600 job applications in, and once I post this video, I'm going to go apply for another few hundred. And this is what's going on. So first and foremost, these companies are saying that they're urgently hiring, but yet they're rejecting everyone, and then they're reposting the job that they're urgently hiring for like a month or two later. What's up with that? Genuinely, there's been theories and comments that I've had saying that it's because companies are getting paid to do this, that they're profiting from it. I don't understand how, but just a theory. But my question is why?
So as I mentioned earlier, there is a lot of frustration in this, which I can totally relate to after applying to a massive 1600 jobs. But let's talk about this first point that he raised. Companies reposting a job that they say they are urgently hiring for. I came across this situation personally, and to be honest, it feels so disheartening to see a role being posted again and again while you might not have even heard back from them. Couple of reasons here. Number one, the first time around when a job is posted, they must have received a number of job applicants, but they aren't happy with the candidates and they decide to repost the same job hoping to get better candidates this time. Reason number two could be, although you might feel that you are the best candidate for that role, considering the kind of qualifications, experience and skill set you have, but still you got rejected and you see that job being posted again. I can understand your anger, but let's take you out of the equation for a minute. The job description that you see might not be accurate, and I've seen this case majority of the times. Companies might post a generic job description to kick things off, and the actual role on a day-to-day basis could be different. Sometimes the hiring team will brief the actual role during the interview process. This happened multiple times with me, where the JD says one thing and the actual brief of the role by the hiring team is something different. For no mistake of yours, you could be rejected for this mismatch. So don't take this personally on your eligibility for this role. Reason number three could be the hiring manager could be too picky and they might be looking for something very specific, like experience with a specific tool or technology, or it could be maybe just due to the culture fit. Sometimes it could be also a wrong judgment on the hiring team's side, as it is very difficult to assess a candidate thoroughly in a couple of calls. Things are up for interpretation and there are a lot of assumptions for both the parties involved. This could lead to even the best of professionals being rejected in an interview. Finally, one other reason that I could think of is a catch-all job posting. This is nothing but sometimes companies like to capture candidates well ahead of time just to make sure they have some leads in the pipeline so that they can reach out to them when they actually hire. This means they don't have an actual open position at that point in time, but they just want to collect talent so that they can reach out when the time comes. To me, this is a very bad candidate experience and a waste of time for everyone. This is literally playing with people's hopes to secure a job. I wouldn't recommend these kind of catch-all job postings.
And second, another thing I'm going to expose is what these companies are doing is they're sending you through. I've been through, I can't even begin to tell you the amount of times where they'll have you for an initial interview. So I passed the first round, right? Passed the second round, passed the third round. I'm like 2 weeks in to a company, like in their interview process. I'm at like interview number 4. And then they just go, yeah, sorry, no. Or they don't even get back to me at all. I shit you not. There have been multiple companies where I'm going to like the 4th round of interviews and then they just never get back to me ever again. I'm like, what the hell, right?
Okay, I have to agree with this. This is a very bad candidate experience and companies should keep the candidates in loop when they put in a lot of time and effort. They should respect the candidate's time. This isn't an unreasonable ask, as companies anyway send out a default automated response to people who get rejected at the resume stage. The responsibility on the hiring company over here is to respond to candidates who interviewed at least. This is very basic to keep the candidate informed as they allocated time for the interview. I've seen companies being at extreme edges in this case. There are companies that hop on a call with you and provide a detailed feedback on why they rejected you. The number of companies doing this could be very rare. And then there are companies who don't even let candidates know if they're rejected in the first place, keeping the candidate waiting and frustrated. I feel it will be good if companies can at least maintain a balance between these and keep people informed as they take candidates through their hiring process. Also, for me personally, companies asking you to do a huge number of interview rounds like 10 or 12 are a no-go, and also the ones who are asking you to spend a lot of time on case studies or research, etc. These are some red flags to me and would recommend to proceed with caution. Think if the effort is worth given the role and company you're interviewing for.
So out of the 1,600 jobs I've applied to, I've had one salary job offer that was around $41,000 a year to sell phones in Costco. I rejected that job offer. I turned that down. And I've been offered 3 1099 positions, which means I don't get paid hourly or salary. I just get paid on if I can make a sale. The other thousands of jobs that I've applied to, I've either been rejected or been played with through the interview process or just never heard back from. So another thing I'm going to expose is college education. They don't seem to care at all that I have a business degree applying for marketing or management, any of these roles. All they care about is your work experience. So if you're currently in college and you're seeing this as maybe a sign to drop out, do it. Do it. Not financial advice, but do it. I'm in my last semester of college, and if I would have known, going back what I know now, I probably wouldn't have gone through 4 years of college. Just being honest.
Okay, this I don't recommend at all, as this feels more of an impulse reaction, having been through that phase where he applied to more than 1,600 jobs. This can make anyone frustrated and left with a disbelief in the job market. I can't completely write this off, as there is some truth to it as well. Companies are slowly starting to pay less attention to the degrees and academics. Instead, they're looking at real life experience you have, which is tough, right? Especially when you're just out of college. This is like the chicken and egg problem. You need a job first to gain experience, and companies look for experienced people for a job. This is unfair for graduate roles, as it doesn't make sense to expect work experience from freshers just out of college. I'm not saying that internships or other part-time roles aren't valuable for those of you who had some work experience through these avenues. What I'm saying is expecting a full-fledged work experience from a fresh graduate isn't reasonable.
And finally, for those of you saying, oh, you're not doing the right processes or steps, because me and thousands of other people are literally trying everything from applying online to calling companies to going to job fairs to I literally go from business to business for minimum wage jobs. And I give up my resume and I talk to the manager and they go, oh yeah, well, either we're not hiring right now, or they're like, oh yeah, you seem like a nice guy. Put in your application online. So I do that, get rejected. I'm not applying for over 6-figure jobs. I'm applying for minimum wage positions. Fuck!
Okay, just some thoughts from my end on this overall video. I do understand the amount of time and hard work he put in to apply to more than 1,600 jobs, but this seems to me like more of an untargeted approach that could have come out of desperation to find a job. Nothing wrong in it, but applying to these many jobs raises a lot of questions on the job fit part. There could be some roles where he's a good fit, but thinking that his profile is apt for all the 1,600 roles is surely not practical. I know the job market is tough, but advise everyone to spend some time and apply only to roles that you feel are a close match, or else you're wasting a lot of time and effort unnecessarily. That's it with this video, guys. Hope you found this helpful. Please give this a like and subscribe to my channel for more such videos.